Okay, everything is set and everything is good. What's up, all my Dragonlings? I am the Dragon God of Gaming, Editor-D.Dragon, and welcome to another episode of the WWE Roundup. Today, we are rounding up last night's pay-per-view, WWE Stomping Grounds. Now, there's a lot that happened, and only one good match. So, let's actually hit it. So I'm gonna run down the entire list. And like always, I'm gonna exclude everything that has to do with Shane McMahon, because okay, anyway, to start off the night, we had the Cruiserweight title match between Akira Tozawa, Tony Nese, and Drew Gulak. Well, obviously, you got your standard affair. Obviously, you have a powerhouse like Tony Nese, obviously very agile in his own right. You have someone like Drew Gulak, who's a submission specialist, obviously going good lengths against Kushida. Go look at some of the other WWE roundups I've done, and you'll probably hear about Drew Gulak versus Kushida. Go check that out. Beautiful masterpiece. And obviously you got like the hard-hitting, non-stop power of Akira Tozawa. So, obviously, this was actually a really good match, but it was, again, always relegated to the pre-show. I don't understand why. WWE, ladies and gentlemen, we want to make sure that you guys respect the Cruiserweight every single pay-per-view pre-show. Nobody cares! Anyway, after a very hard-hitting match, Drew Gulak knocked Tony Nese off the apron to planting Akira Tozawa to win his first ever WWE title in the Cruiserweight Championship. So, congratulations, Drew Gulak. It was a really good match from start to finish. I liked it, so, hey. And people said that the Cruiserweights suck. They don't. It's just that WWE doesn't care about them. Anyway, next up, we have the Raw Women's Championship match to start off the actual show, which was Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans. It was basically your standard affair. Obviously, Lacey Evans, again, is not ready for like the mainstay highlight. Like, I'm sorry. And again, I'm gonna say this later on in the episode that I do not think I do not. Great language work there, Damien. I do not think that Lacey Evans deserves to be in the Women's Championship spotlight right now. After a little bit while, of course she is. She's a really good heel. But it's just getting stale. They're just repeating the same matches over and over again, hoping that we're not noticing. We are. It was basically like a hash of what happened at Super Showdown. I just can't. Well, not Super Showdown, sorry. Whatever it was before. Money in the Bank. I'm sorry. Anyway. A lot of it was basically Becky Lynch beating the crap out of Lacey Evans. And, obviously Lacey Evans got some, offense in, but she tapped out super quickly to the disarmer. So, Becky Lynch basically mounted that offense right back. And, made her tap very quickly. And again, you'll notice why at the end of the evening if you guys haven't watched it. But it was just basically your standard affair again. I'm sorry, Lynch. You can put up really good matches, but you cannot carry Lacey Evans. Anyway, another match we're going to go into, New Day, which is Xavier Woods and Big E, without Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston has nothing to do with this match, versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. To begin with, this match came out just rocketing. Super kick from Kevin Owens onto Xavier Woods. At the beginning, they had to knock Big E off the apron and just mounted so much damage upon Xavier Woods, just beating him senseless, beating him down. It was basically a one-sided assault. Obviously, when Big E got into the match, obviously you got the heavy hitter. So he was throwing people around, body slams, belly to belly throws. the man can move, but mostly it was isolating, Xavier Woods. So, yeah. Most of the match was basically a back and forth, and this actually was one of the great matches of the night. And, underwhelmed, matches of the night. If it wasn't settled so early on, it would have made up for all of this stuff in the later, evening. But this match was really good. But Owens and Zayn came out and took the big one. A spear that took Sami Zayn out of the match, left Kevin Owens in the ring with, a very exhausted Xavier Woods. But one stunner later, and I'm sorry, I'm going to keep on calling it the Stone Cold Stunner because it is. Stone Cold Stunner pinned Xavier Woods to earn the victory. Congratulations, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, on actually getting a good win at a pay-per-view. Thank God. The match was absolutely phenomenal. So, I would suggest this was one of the matches of the night. Thank God. Anyway, next up, you have the United States Championship match between Samoa Joe and Ricochet. Now, this match obviously started off pretty good. Ricochet was from the outset was getting basically demolished. Obviously, it looked like it was going to be a standard affair, Samoa Joe coming in and just wrecking house. But obviously, Ricochet mounted a really good comeback. As I said, Ricochet cannot have a bad match. It just cannot. Unless he's in the ring with people that are really trying not to have a good match. The man cannot have a bad match. Obviously, he was using his speed against Samoa Joe's strength, and that played him very well. Uranagi almost stepped him down, but obviously he went back up. He got back into it. A step up enziguri, a springboard forearm, and kept on going. He kept on hitting. He kept on moving, and very soon he got him down to his leg. He got him down to the last leg, knocking him down. He went for a 630 cannonball. He missed, only doing a 450, landing on his feet. Joe came after him once again, knocked him to the floor, tried it one more time, a 630 senton. Again, 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, your new United States champion, Ricochet. Now, I cannot wait to see how many feuds that Ricochet gets out of that, because these two men, obviously, they're really good. Samoa Joe can put on a really good match, just giving them enough time. And Ricochet can pull up beauties in a short amount of time, regardless. And pulling in late matches, the man is good. Just look at his match at TakeOver. I believe it was TakeOver New York versus Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship, which a little bit upset me because the announcers said his first ever WWE Championship that he's won here in the WWE. I'm like, the North American Championship. Do you not consider the NXT belts part of the WWE lineup? For real? But it was an absolutely good match. After the match, obviously, a lot of people joined in to help Ricochet celebrate. You got Heavy Machinery. You had the Major Bros, Zack Ryder, and Kurt Hawkins. You had some of the divas, Carmella and Charlotte. But what I can notice is that the one thing he did was strong arm Carmella. He refused to give a hug to Carmella and opted to go hug Charlotte. I don't know why that was, but holy shit, I thought it was funny. And I'm sorry, I do have to curse sometimes. I always get that one per list. If I said it a couple times, I apologize. Anyway, Heavy Machinery went straight out after the celebration for Ricochet's U.S. title win, and immediately went into the SmackDown Tag Team title match between themselves and Daniel Bryan and Rowan. Obviously, Daniel Bryan was a little bit outmatched, as we can say, against like the Heavy Machinery. Obviously, he did really well against Tucker Knight. Just beating him down, trying to get him to one leg. Obviously, it's like what a technical wrestler should do, and that's what Daniel Bryan's strong point is. His strong point is making sure that, everyone is down to his level and down to his speed, and that's what he made sure of. But to close everything out, Otis Dozovich went for the Caterpillar, which he hit on Daniel Bryan, which took, I believe, Daniel Bryan a good amount out of the equation, but Dozovich took a lot of power into Rowan, which dropped him with a power slam, and Tucker Knight took out Rowan to the outside, which left Daniel Bryan in the ring with Otis Dozovich. He went for a splash outside. Then when I believe it was Tucker Knight that went into the ring, he fell prey to the what's it called? The small package shoulder in the middle of the ring from Daniel Bryan. 1, 2, 3. Daniel Bryan and Rowan are still your SmackDown Tag Team Champions. The match was really good. It was basically a clinic in showing what a technical wrestler can do against heavy set superstars. So I actually kind of liked this match. It just seemed really, wrestling based, and that's actually something that WWE has been straying from very much. So it's good to see here. So Daniel Bryan and Rowan, you're still your SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I had to fix these sentences. I'm sorry, I'm screwing up. Anyway, next one. SmackDown Women's Title match. Bayley versus Alexa Bliss with Nikki Cross at ringside. Now, in the earlier part of the match, when it started, Bayley showed a very aggressive side. A very aggressive side. Basically dominating the opening slot of the match. But as the time basically progressed, it came out basically Alexa Bliss, seized an opportunity and, took back control of the match, keeping Bayley mostly on the floor, mostly on her back, as she's basically wearing her down, basically laughing, telling her that she doesn't belong. I believe after Bayley tried to get some momentum up, Alexa Bliss tried to roll out the ring, trying to hold Bayley's arm, and pulled her into the turnbuckle, which, slammed her arm in, and that was basically her focal point for the rest of the match. Attacking that arm, attacking the arm, but it didn't really do very much. But obviously, as you think, with all this, Nikki Cross came into play, eventually. Nikki Cross tried to go check on Alexa Bliss, who, Bayley shoved afterwards, basically saying, chill. But when she went for a suicide dive, Alexa Bliss pulled Nikki Cross in front of her, and Nikki Cross took the brunt of the blow. The blunt of the blow. I'm not speaking right tonight. I was just cheering for most of the night, so I'm sorry. Anyway, obviously the end of the match came when Nikki Cross got absolutely furious. She tried to come in the ring, and but Bayley wasn't the one in control. It was Alexa, and Alexa, what she did was she was on the top rope, and what happened was Bayley was on the floor, obviously very irate that Nikki Cross wanted to get some of Bayley. And when Nikki Cross finally got on the ring, Alexa Bliss went for a Twisted Bliss, found the knees, and instead, Bayley went for the Bayley Belly, like she always does. Planted her. 1, 2, 3, ladies and gentlemen, still your SmackDown Women's Champion, Bayley. I'm sorry that I am, not going through the entire match, but we're going to be here forever if I do. So, match was pretty good, but I'm still thinking that they could use Nikki Cross a little more better than this. We don't need to see gullible Nikki. We would like to see, the Hellraiser that she was supposed to be. And now she's just basically like the gullible friend, like Mickey James was, or Tamina was, or anyone that has ever worked with Alexa Bliss. So we don't need this. So hope they're doing better with Nikki Cross, but the match was absolutely good. Next up, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. This has to do with Shane McMahon, so I'm not going to do this. After one too many attempts at, taking down Roman Reigns, after multiple, run-ins, not run-ins, but, attempts to basically, hurt Roman Reigns more, at the end of the match, basically, Roman Reigns threw Shane McMahon over the top rope and hit Drew McIntyre with a second spear, one that, obviously, Shane McMahon actually prevented the first spear from being the one that basically ended off the match. And the second one did. So Drew McIntyre lost. Roman Reigns defeated Drew McIntyre. Which now on Monday, which is tomorrow, well, today, as I'm recording this is tomorrow. Today, what's going to happen is there's going to be a 2-on-1 handicap match between Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre and Shane McMahon. Stop it, WWE. Stop. Please stop. The match was pretty good. Now, the match of the night, I think. The WWE Championship match between Kofi Kingston and Dolph Ziggler. This match went forward. Oh my god. Just Dolph Ziggler at the opening outset seemed to be in control, obviously doing everything he said, grinding his face into like the ring, like the cage itself, beating Kofi Kingston out to death, throwing him into the cage, using that cage as a weapon as much as he can. But obviously Dolph Ziggler couldn't hold on to that for long. There's a lot of things that he did do right, but the match was absolutely beautiful from start to finish. Both showed off their talent, both showed off how quick they are. Multiple near falls coming from like off the zigzag and the SOS that came out. Both of them climbing up the cage. Basically, both of them almost fell out the cage for wins. Didn't happen. Both got pulled back in mostly. But the end of the match came. Dolph Ziggler knocked out Kofi Kingston with, I believe, a super kick. It was a super kick. And Dolph Ziggler, for the second time in the match, well, not the second time, but the fourth time, tried to climb out the door. He was crawling out. And the most amazing move that I've ever seen somebody do, which is a high flyer. I don't know why anyone has never thought of this. Kofi Kingston suicide dived through the rope to the outside to hit the ground before Dolph Ziggler hit the floor to retain the WWE Championship. That was the most amazing set. Like, that's the most amazing spot that they could have gone for. It was absolutely beautiful. I loved it. And I'm just sitting there thinking like, oh my god. Why? How do you think of that? It's like he was halfway out. Just suicide dive. Nope. I thought it was some, like when Dolph was crawling out, I thought that Big E or Xavier Woods would, slam the door into not Xavier, but Dolph Ziggler's head. I'm sorry. It was just a very long night. Actually, I'm doing this about like an hour after I just got done, so yeah, I'm still pretty hyped. That was beautiful. But no, Dolph Ziggler got the biggest shaft ever, and you could visibly see the frustration on his face. He's like, I'm about to win. Kofi Kingston, nope. It was just beautiful. It was beautiful. So, yeah. Highlight of the night. Well, here is basically the worst 20 minutes that we've basically seen. It was basically like the exact same thing that we've seen from Baron Corbin all the time. Next up, Universal Championship match between Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin. Obviously, the whole time, it was basically Baron Corbin because obviously the rules were being changed by the special guest referee, which was Lacey Evans. Because who can you not hit with a chair? A woman. Why do we need to keep on doing this? First of all, I do not think that Baron Corbin should be anywhere near a Universal Championship match. United States Intercontinental Championship match, I can understand. But he is nowhere near as good to be in a Universal Championship match. I don't know why this was to be. I don't get it. The whole match was basically Lacey Evans, screwing over Seth Rollins because she's in a feud with Becky Lynch, even though she really isn't ready for it, and no one's asking for it neither, and no one's asking to watch Baron Corbin neither. So the entire match was them changing the rules. Lacey Evans fast counting for Baron Corbin, but slow counting for Seth Rollins, even completely refusing to count the pin for a Falcon Arrow on the chair after she called for a no disqualification. After Baron Corbin used the chair on Seth Rollins, she called for a no disqualification match. But before that, when Baron Corbin was being counted out and Seth Rollins was actually going to win, Lacey Evans called for another thing, basically speaking, let's make this a not disqualification match, but no count out match. And it's like, we don't need to keep on seeing this. It's basically like having Baron Corbin as the acting GM all over again. No one's asking for it and no one wants to see it. But at the end, Becky Lynch came out to make the save, knocking Lacey Evans out the ring. The referee that was at Super Showdown to Baron Corbin says, screwed him over, got in because he called for another referee because he had Seth Rollins down, and he refused to work with that referee, which caused Seth Rollins to give him a super kick, another super kick to the stomach, and a stomp for the 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, still your Universal Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. And that, ladies and gentlemen, how you end the night with Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, hugging it out, showing how, they're dating, and basically saying, yeah. But it was just kind of repetitive for me. It was good, but it wasn't, to my liking. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys think something different, let me know. Prove me wrong. Anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed. This was the roundup for WWE Stomping Grounds. Hope everyone enjoyed. This was a lot of fun, so hope everyone had a wild ride. If you guys watched the pay-per-view, tell me what you guys think of it down in the comment section below. I cannot wait to hear what you guys have to say. But I cannot wait for the next pay-per-view, which is Extreme Rules, coming July 23rd. Not July 23rd. I believe July 16th, 23rd. I don't know. I'm going to check the calendar again. But next up is Extreme Rules. So a lot of matches should be hardcore. I can't wait to see it. So, WWE, let's not screw this up. You have free reign to basically put Extreme Rules matches. Let's not make this bad. Like last year. Kendo stick on the pole. No! Seeing as fit that Bayley and Alexa Bliss is still feuding. No! Anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed. But I'm going to leave it off with this. Good gaming, happy hunting, and I'll see all you Dragonlings back inside the world of WWE. Hope you guys enjoyed today, and I'll see you guys next time for some more Damien Dragon action. Peace.